So Tottenham and Man United draw a very boring but in the end very comical match. I thought people are saying Barclays is back. This was the greatest mid-table clash, etc. It was the most boring game I have ever watched. I was falling asleep when I was watching it for half of the game. I had to pick something up and do something else to engage myself. That was how boring it was until Manchester United scored the goal, and then they had to change their tactics. Tottenham had to attack a little bit, then the game opened up. And then we saw in the second half better football. Eventually, Tottenham scored a couple of goals. They were ahead, and Richarlison was celebrating. And by the way, how much do I love seeing Richarlison in misery? I don't think I should even hate someone as much as I do. For like the hate I have for Richarlison is unwarranted. It is toxic. It is just wrong, plain wrong. But I don't know why. But I hate him every time I see him. The way he keeps crying, the way he keeps falling on the ground to ask for a foul, etc. Like, what are you doing? And it is obviously because of some Brazilian roots. I don't know what they do in their football games, etc. But it is some Brazilian roots where they teach them to do that, etc. So I don't know why I'm saying etc. so much, but yeah, I feel like Richarlison is one of those human beings like I wouldn't care whatever he was doing. Like I wouldn't care if he scored 1,000 goals tomorrow and became the greatest player. I would still not acknowledge him and give him his respect. If he does something bad, well and good. I expected that. So it is like I don't care about that human being, and I love the fact that when he celebrates with his shirt off, he most likely doesn't win the game in the end. So that was fun to watch, and yeah, obviously as an Arsenal fan, it is fun for to watch Tottenham think that they have won the game, but then eventually they do not. And Thomas Frank, who was supposedly a great manager at the start of the season, and he was doing wonderful things, and all the tacticos were appreciating him. Brentford is not Tottenham. When you come to bigger clubs who want to or aspire to compete with the biggest clubs, you have to play attacking football. You have to manage everything around that, and you have to manage your player egos. There are players who think they are so good that they have bigger egos than what you would have had at Brentford. And basically, even Xavi Simmons, I was watching through the middle. He is the one who is the runner. He's running there. He has three defenders here, a midfielder, and two center backs here. And the other player he has to pass to is here. I don't know who the striker was, and he's running here. So all this path is blocked, and he also has a defender with going with him. So every path is blocked, and he has no one to pass to. These whole area, this whole area, nobody has the runner. Only two runners, and one of them is Xavi Simons. Xavi Simmons has to be one who picks the ball here, and he has two runners going so that he can pass one of them, and then they would run at these defenders. So that is very crucial. I thought a point that Thomas Frank should address that. Why is Xavi Simmons the runner? Your runner should be Brendan Johnson, Kudos, and whoever your striker is. And that was the issue with Xavi Simmons, I thought, and a lot of cases where people are obviously saying that Xavi Simmons is not doing very well. I think the construct of the team also plays a huge role in that. Even if you see Ebreche as he has come to Arsenal, but he is not able to adapt to the fact that Arsenal will play low blocks every weekend. So he is someone who will like a little bit of space, and then he'll like to move the ball, run with the ball at defenders, 2-on-2 situations, 3-on-3 situations, and then he'll embarrass defenders and score a goal, etc. Like he is not finding those spaces, and the Xavi Simmons is also not finding those spaces, and he's not finding enough options in the midfield to combine with. You have too many defensive midfielders in the midfield, and you have one creator who has the overload of who has the burden of the whole creative your creative responsibility. So I feel like that is also an issue, as when it comes to Manchester United, I don't know. Like I feel they are good. They are a good side, but I don't know why he. You shouldn't substitute Cunha at the 71st minute because he's always a maverick sort of a player who can create a chance. If you see the Mbeumo goal, Cunha in the opposition box combines with a player here, then moves, shifts, combines with a player here, and then the cross goes and then the goal goes. So Cunha is your creative player here who can even have a shot from distance if required. He is one of those players who are very similar to Bruno Fernandes in terms of individual quality in creating those final balls, combining with players, and having that final action in terms of shots and assists, goals and assists. So I feel like you shouldn't substitute him, and more so because he's also in my FPL team. So it is a bit sad. Sesko, if you look at Sesko, he had a chance to score a goal and he missed that. And it is not looking that good for him right now, but he has a lot of skill sets, body type, physicality, and a shot that he can impress you in the upcoming years. But for now, I don't think he's that ready, and that is why Arsenal chose to go with Gyökeres instead of him because he was not ready right now. More things about this. Yeah, like the only exciting thing I saw about Tottenham was when Mickey Van de Ven picked the ball here and he attempted to run, but this is Premier League. Manchester United came and blocked that zone, and he had to pass here. So that was all that the whole Spurs stadium was excited about, and that is also pretty sad because the atmosphere in the Spurs stadium is also not up to that level. Now you look at the West Ham team. Now, just right now, I saw that match and they won, and the atmosphere in the stadium is much better. Even if you tell them that, oh, they have shifted their stadiums and it is not the same atmosphere anymore, I feel like the team has the responsibility to change the atmosphere of the stadium as well. In terms of Tottenham, not every time, because sometimes crowd can genuinely be poor and they are not supporting their team as much as they should. But I feel like Thomas Frank has to think a lot about his tactics and the way he needs to go about his business, in the way he needs to uh, handle the player egos he is dealing with right now, and the balance between having defensive assurity and attacking prowess. So those are the things that need to be thought, and obviously Mbeumo is doing pretty well for Manchester United. Amorim was pretty nervous when he lost. He was losing 2-1, but Delit, who has been sensational for Manchester United, comes up with a goal. And yeah, you would expect mistakes from these two sides, and they both made a mistake in after the 90th minute and conceded a goal each. Overall, it was a pathetic match between two mid-table-ish sides who were making mistakes, not creating much of their own, but making mistakes and allowing the opposition into the game. And that is what it was all about. It was weakness after weakness. There was not too much quality. Even though Manchester United's first goal was a pretty quality goal, even Matthias Tell's finish was pretty quality finish, but I felt overall, if you see, it is not up to the standards of what Spurs 5 6 years ago used to be. Manchester United 10, like Manchester United of also 5 years ago would have been better. They had Ronaldo, etc. coming and doing having something about them, but Pogba they had from midfield. Right now it is very much like they had Pogba, Mata, Herrera. They had Anthony doing pretty well, Rashford doing pretty well. Like they had a lot of uh, promise about their side even 5 6 years ago, even if they were not competing for the title as such, but they had a good team. But I don't think we are seeing that level of football right now. And even though Premier League clubs are spending so much, football is still boring, and I find it pretty difficult to keep up with the games because it genuinely makes me sleep watching a few of these games. So I hope we see better games. I think Manchester United are going in the right direction. Amaram is doing better right now, but you have to just cancel out these mistakes And as for Tottenham, they have to find the balance between their defense and attack. So that is what I noticed about this game. If you notice something different, please comment. Actually, I am didn't mean to say please comment, because why would I? I don't need interactions, views, anything. But if you think you want to say something, please say something. And if you don't, well and good. Bye.